It looks like some warmer weather ahead.
Mm-hmm.
At 50s sounds pretty good right now.
Oh, that one's had a little bite to it.
Warming it up for you.
I'm just seeing what this little bead was. I thought we were going to tap this thing, but it'll probably go flying if I do. That'd be Good morning and welcome to the November 17th, 2022 meeting for the Dixon County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have one item to add to our agenda today, and that's to consider proposals for software for permitting and licensing. And I would move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the November 10th meeting, also expenditures of $234,048.54, a security wire of $4,000, and checks of $9,845.56, utilities of $10,199.31, a credit card wire of $26,255.81, a special check for $20,000.
I move for the consent agenda.
Second.
We have the motion and second for approval of the consent agenda. Any discussion or question? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
Did spend a little time Saturday at the Lions Club pancake dinner at Woodbine. Got to meet some folks and they had a real good turnout. Everything worked pretty good. Spent a little time yesterday at the Juvenile Detention Center in Junction City. They're doing some expansion. Some folks are retiring and financially things are looking good. So we're pretty proud of having a nice report.
Okay, thank you. Craig.
Yeah, I just comment, we did, and we attended the North Central Regional Planning Commission's 50th anniversary. Thought it was well. If anybody cares to hear it, the food wasn't all that great, but that's how I judge things. That's all I have, man. Is your food better than mine?
No, I had a plastic fork that broke when I was trying to cut through some, but sadly, it was a great meeting and so on. But it is surprising how just a little item like that, and the speaker they had was an excellent speaker, and they had flown him in, and I mean, there were no corners cut there. I mean, it was really an outstanding speaker and probably was worthy of something if it was a statewide meeting. I mean, he was that caliber and great messaging, and it had to do on, the 13 things you can do to kill a small community or town, and kind of went through some of the pitfalls that some of them are kind of obvious, and yet people know that and they fall into that same pattern. And so one of the personal examples he gave was growing up on a farm where his father continually told him, this is a terrible occupation. It's probably something you shouldn't do. You can't make money at it. It's hard work. Friends are at the lake on weekends having fun and you have to work on the farm. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. And when he got old enough to pursue a career, his dad said, why don't you come back on the farm? And so he wasn't just picking on farming, but he said, a lot of things are like that. You put out a negative perception and then wonder, why people aren't attracted to your town or to some of the things available. So anyway, that was, so he went on for probably 30 some minutes and seemed to hold people's attention and really gave great examples. We had our meeting for Central Kansas Mental Health, and things are going well there. We've added to the employment base. They're reaching out, providing lots and lots of services, and there's lots and lots of needs there. So that's something I did attend. And then next week they do have the 4-H Achievement Banquet, and I plan to attend that on behalf of the commission. And it's an annual event, and 4-H does, it's just tremendous here in Dixon County, and the involvement, volunteers, the kids, just lots of great things going on there. So that's all I have. I don't believe we have any petitions or proclamations. If there's any public comment, that would be available at this time. I will mention, earlier today on the work study session, and it's in an open meeting and such. And so we were kind of alerted by the fact that the computer had shut down or it wasn't available to watch. And, we were going through, it did an update on the computer and probably just kind of dropped things off, but appreciate getting that information. Certainly not intentional, but sometimes the computers do shut down temporarily. So we'll go ahead to our report of county officers. And so our Assistant County Administrator, Janelle, if you would provide us your report, please.
Yes, the Quonset hut at the highway department is progressing well. I think they have the sidewalls up, and they were working on the rafters, I believe, the roof on it. So that's good. The bridge deck is going in at 400 Avenue and Key Road. Hopefully another week or so, if weather holds, they'll have that completed. Congratulations to our highway department. They've passed their 4th year with no accidents. So that's a pretty major achievement, and we're very proud of all those employees there and want to recognize them for that. Just a reminder of a couple of things. We've got the canvas coming up tomorrow at 9:30 here on the election canvas. Lynn said the achievement banquet, and then next week there will be no commission meeting, as we will be closed the 24th and 25th for employees to enjoy Thanksgiving with their families. So safe travels for everyone. That's all I would have.
Okay, thank you. Doug.
Thank you. 2 things. One is we picked up the stack of documents from the title company, got them from Leah. And so we're engaged in that preparation for the tax sale. It'll take a little while because there's quite a few of them, but we've got them. And we'll keep moving forward with that one. And I was thinking about what you had said about the farmer, with the farm kid when he was growing up. I grew up with the older generation that went through the Depression. And I can remember when I was a little kid, my dad would say, if I'd sit down and be resting or something, he'd say, we don't rest. If you get tired doing this job, you do another job instead of that one. That's how you rest. And that still works, unfortunately.
I have a question for you. I Commission District 3. I want to chain with the email. Question was how often do we have a tax sale? And I told them till the pandemic, we had one every year as long as I'd been on. And if I remember right, it was March and April before.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be pretty close to what we try to do.
And I said, pandemic threw us up, so we're going to have 2 this year. Or we will have 2 this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would anticipate that will happen because we got to get the numbers back down.
Right.
And
if I can sync.
Yeah, if a person falls behind, and I get it, they fall behind. But then if they say, well, nobody's yelling at me, nobody's causing any problems, and pretty soon it gets to be, well, I'm 3-4 years behind, or 5 or 6. I've already had a couple of those phone calls where they called and said, I'm behind, but can you work with me to be able to do this, to do that? And I want to get this. I said, can't do it. I said, we don't have payment plans for this. You're going to have to figure it out. You've got to make it work. Have to. And part of that becomes the number of cases that we're dealing with. And so being able to get back on that regular cycle will make it a lot easier for everybody. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we will reconvene 9:30 tomorrow for the canvas. And if someone wants to observe that, there's places to sit down here. How long do you anticipate that will take, Jeannie?
There's 145 to review, so I'm hoping within an hour, hour and a half, we'll get everything done.
Okay. And usually it goes pretty smoothly. We've been through it before, but it's very methodical and just certain steps that we go by to accomplish that. So, okay. Under notices and communications, we have our county news that we all received. We also have something here from the Census Bureau on a survey of local finances. And so I'll turn that over to Janelle if it's something that we need to participate or respond to. We also had, as Craig had mentioned, we attended the North Central Regional Planning Commission, and we had the notes that were presented at that for our review. And then also the Honorable Margaret F. White. She is a district magistrate judge of the 8th Judicial District. And there's a reception honoring her retirement, and that will take place Thursday, December 29th, 2022. Were there any other items of communication that anyone received as far as emails, in person? Nothing. Okay. We'll go on to, we did add one item to the agenda, and it was for the software for permit planning and licensing, and it's a proposal, and we discussed that. But Janelle, would you go ahead and just kind of give a summary of the purpose of this and what the recommendation is?
For several months, several departments, along with IT, have been looking for a software to help us with our permitting and licensing process, make it easier for our citizens. It's an online portal that would be set up, and they would be able to use it for planning and zoning permit requests, for highway use permits, environmental services. Then we would have the ability to create other applications or forms, permits for for fireworks or CMB licenses as we go down the road. And we talked with 3 different companies for that. And they have all been in business for quite a few years, but we found 2 that the programs that they offered seem to fit the needs that we have. For ease of use, would be easy for the citizens and for the employees, obviously, to use. There's a workflow process that we like, that if somebody comes in and requests a building permit from Tim and they need a driveway permit, it would move to the highway department and then move to environmental services if they need anything out there. The permit would not be approved until after all of the check marks or boxes have been taken care of. All the departments have looked at them. So we like that workflow process too. So 2 of the companies that we felt were within the dollar range that we would like, it's software, so it's always expensive. But the first one was GovBuilt, and we would have a one-time implementation fee of $19,000 with an annual subscription of $10,500. So the first year cost would be $29,500. And that includes the installation, the portal design and layout, user licenses, permit applications, with our ability to create more reports. It integrates with our mapping and online payments, and then training support. The next one was Civic Gov with one-time fees of $12,000, but their annual maintenance is $24,000 for a total of $35,000. And that includes basically the same thing as GovBuilt. So both of these companies are located in Manhattan. They are easily accessible, but based on the demonstrations and after discussing with IT in particular, our recommendation would be to go with the quote from GovBuilt for the $29,500. The monies would come from the capital plan. We usually have money in there for the upgrade of computers, and in the process, IT has upgraded everything they need to. So there's some money there that we'd be able to pay for the cost of this. And we would be able to start on this project very quickly, actually.
Okay. And we did have 3 vendors that were notified on this, and we do have a recommendation for GovBuilt. that total amount was $29,500. So we'll need to, by motion, approve that if that's what we want to do.
I'll make a motion to approve the GovBelt recommendation.
Second it.
We have the motion and the second, and this is for GovBuild, 29,500, correct? Any other discussion?
Yeah, where are they located at? Janelle, I don't.
Manhattan.
They're out of Manhattan.
Both of them are out of Manhattan.
Now, this professional,
Yes, Kansas, yes.
the professional fee service, that'd be on the road or do they get here?
That's per hour on the road and even when they get here is my understanding. So, but I believe that we would be able to accomplish a lot of that
Over the phone?
over the phone or email and perhaps remote view as well.
Troubleshoot that way.
Troubleshoot it that way, yes.
5% annual technology fee will be every year.
That's what they have in their quote. Yes, both of them. So.
I read it there. I just want to make sure.
Mhm.
So how long are we obligated to them? Is that something that if, say, new technology comes out 2 years from now, we could easily switch, or
We could easily,
we aren't locked in?
right. No, we're not locked in for 2 years or 3 years. We could easily switch.
Okay, we have the motion and the second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We do not have any unfinished business. We do have the other item is to consider authorization, since we will not meet Thanksgiving next week or Friday. The courthouse also is closed. Need a motion that I'll be authorized to come in and sign the payroll prior to Thursday.
So move.
Second it.
We have the motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second it.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. We're adjourned.